Good morning, happy Sunday. I'm going to talk about the sentiment this week, and then next week I'll do the technicals. So I'll quickly nip through these pairs down there, and I won't talk about them too long because otherwise it'll be a really long video. But we see the cable rate, the pound USD, 72% long, and we're seeing a slight decrease of longs over time. So that would be bullish on the dynamic, but at the static it's a sell. And note the reds on the signal too. The 200-day is pointing down, and we're below the pivot and support one. And so it leads me to believe we'll follow this down, and we've got a stop loss cluster 1997 and 12162. Got the dollar yen now. We've got a bearish ABCD, and it's a bearish sentiment. And there's a slight decrease of the longs, but really the others are stationary, so that's a sell. Stop loss cluster here 105.52 and one above 106.85. Click these guys too, and we'll see that they're quite stationary. This one isn't though, Forex Factory is zigzaggy, but that's a sell because it's above the grey band. The Euro USD is a sell. Oscillators are down. We've got a bearish ABCD, ABCD. Pivots here, support ones here, and that's the MyFXbook line, which is making it a sell. Stop loss cluster 110.63 and 11091, and we're below pivot too. And you'll notice on the right hand side is September's pivot forecast. So look where this one is, this month's, and look where next month's is. So it's a decrease. So we're projecting more downside for September. So keep an eye on this bit here. That's next month's pivot projection. Gold. So we've got an upward projection on gold. It's a bullish ABCD. ABCD. The support freeze coming into play, which I've been selling off of. So 15.20.72. So that's just a level that I've been scalping around. Depending on what we do at the open, I might close in profit because I think it might break that. If it does break that, then I'll be bullish. And don't forget with an upward projection on the pivots. It's a buy here on the sentiment. That's just a bit sideways here. What about the others? Saxo, Dugas. Yeah, there's a lot that are in the grey band, but there's also half of the others are in the buy band. So it's a bit tricky, and also 45% isn't conclusively bullish or bearish. We'd want that a little bit, more towards the 40% really. Euro yen, it's a bullish ABCD. Notice I'm doing the H4 just to keep it, centralized. 200 days putting down. The sentiment is a sell here. It's a sell here. See if it goes up, it becomes a sell. If it goes down, it becomes a buy. We've got the stop loss clusters. Oh, there's a very wide one up here. So 120.07 and 117.37. As I'm zipping through these today, I don't really want to make a too long video. Dollar Swiss bearish 5.0, which is that thing that's been going on for a long time now. There's that bearish triangle, and it creates a, so this is X, A, B, C. We're making that C low. So we could maybe come up here to make a butterfly, or it could be a dragon. If it's a dragon, it's going to hit this diagonal. So we might probably come up here, 9860, stop loss cluster 9807, 9710. So there's that. Remember this bearish triangle too, and the sentiment's a sell. But the MyFXbook line is signaling buy. See how it's coming down? Zoom in. Zoom in. Yeah, so that would be a buy from the MyFXbook. And the FX Factory the Forex Factory are also doing the same. See how it's gone down. That'll make it a buy. Kiwi USD, got a bearish free drives, which you might have seen my tweet, I'm not sure. So that's obviously bearish. The 200 days putting down. The sentiment to sell and the sentiment to sell on the movement across time, the dynamic. Stop loss cluster 6403, 6501. Now we should trigger that one because of the sentiment and the bullish free drives. You don't see them all that often, and because you don't see them all that often, they're rare, so they're quite powerful. So that would hold. That would be your exit if you were short, but that should hold. Okay, we've got the Australian dollar USD. Again, the sell. Very, very bearish when you look at these extremes. So 97% there, 90% there. My FX book. This makes it a sell. See how they're holding the positions. It's a bullish Gartley here on the 4-hourly. Stop loss cluster here, 6822, and below 6724. 200 days putting down. Pivots here, and the pivots here for next month. So it's a big downward forecast for next month. So yeah, it's quite bearish, 80%. USD CAD. So buy here in the sentiment. So buy in the dynamic. So these guys too. Yeah, more or less the same, isn't it? See how it's come down? By coming down, it goes up. So down, 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 up, 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 up. So the oscillators are crossing. It's interesting, and we are hitting R1. So that was resistance turn support. So 3263. So we sort of closed around that level. Upward forecast for the pivot. Pivot's here. But it's a buy in the sentiment, buy in the dynamic. But watch out for that oscillator, it's crossing. Pound yen. Now, I've been talking to a lot of people about this pair over the week. It's a bullish ABCD on the 4-hourly. It's a sell here on the static. See how we're all signaling in sell. But you'll see that there's a decrease of longs over time. Now that's bullish on the dynamic. So we'll move those. So yeah, if it continues, then it becomes more of a buy. If it goes sideways, it could fall. So we really want them to decrease their longs. 200 days pointing down, but it's a bullish ABCD. That invalidates 124.88 area. We are at, well, so it's 500 pips below, so it's got some leeway. But yeah, keep an eye on those ratios. Oscillators are up. But 2 for some reason. Let's delete that one. Okay, and then, yeah, so I'll just talk about the Euro USD. These are inside bars on the daily. This is on the hourly chart. So you can see how useful they are. What am I doing? Let's go to this one. Come over. Yeah, so we can see how they act as support and resistance. And this is the thing that I was bringing your attention to. I've lost my buttons here. There we go. See, there was a decrease. There was like a narrowing of the band there. So we got the lower high and the higher low. And by breaking that, that was a good sell point. And then obviously we used that then as support. We created a new range. And we had a lower high, and the lower low. And now we see we're back below this narrowing range again. So for me, 111.12. That's the key. Now, if we go above, then that could be quite bullish. But assuming that we hold below, we can test around this area. And then the last but not least is the S&P. This is the monthly chart. And and it goes all the way back to 2008, as you see. But we're in our up Kumo, so don't forget about that. This is a bullish cloud, and what I thought was going to happen would come down and test that support. So the decline that we've seen is a perfectly natural retrace because we are going up. You see, we've got a bullish ABCD on the monthly as well. ABCD. We'll go to the weekly. There we go. We've had that support, which I thought was going to happen. We're about to enter a new bullish phase on, so at late August, early September, we'll start a new phase up. So we could have some more declines. But this is the good thing about the Ichimoku, we can forecast the trend change. So the 25th of August, and we'll go up and up and up and up. So yeah, nothing really stopping it, as pending that the retail remain bearish, which they are, because they read the news events and they see the yield curve inversion, so they think, oh, panic, so they sell. So as long as they're doing that, that's bullish. So yeah, not too long video, and I'll probably talk about the new functionality on the spreadsheet now. I'll make a little video for that, but it's about the top movers. It's a really good feature. Have a good Sunday, and I'll speak to you over the week.